Yo, what up guys? August 8th. Shit is already hitting the fan this morning, so here's an early video. And let's just get into it. So first and foremost, Q. Some things to talk about there today. I typed in QAnon into Google just to see what would come up. And of course, we have a whole new round of BS coming our way from the mainstream media. I'm not even going to waste time going into the various articles because it's all nonsense. Now, one thing I do want to share with you guys, though, is an article that came out yesterday by the Epoch Times. I mentioned in my update yesterday that they called me and talked to me. Awesome guys. They ran a very good, very neutral piece. And right here it says, Q community responds to media attacks. I'm going to go ahead and link this down below. You can share it around. It's a very good article. And now, also, qanon.pub is down, and the maintainer of this website actually said on Twitter that it was not a hack. It seems as if GitHub straight up deleted this website, qanon.pub. So, hey, hope we get it back. Don't know if we will. There are some alternatives. QAnonPosts.com is still up. You can still read all the posts there from Q, although I did see somebody say that this website got hit with a malware bot. I logged into this website, QAnonPost.com, on my phone earlier, and I did get a malware warning. It was weird. I just logged into it here on my computer, and it didn't come up. So you can try QAnonPost.com. It might redirect you to something you'll just have to X out of. There is another alternative, qmap.something, can't quite remember. Anyway, I'll find that and I'll link it down below so we can definitely still read the posts on a good amalgamation website, because 8chan is very difficult to navigate if you're unfamiliar with it. So that's why these websites like QAnon Post, QAnon.pub, etc. are fantastic for us to follow along with. So of course it makes sense that the deep state would start attacking them and try to take them down. So again, I'll link all the alternatives I find down below. And Donald Trump's Twitter this morning, 5 for 5. Now, if you're familiar with the Q posts, I've been following along for a few months. One of those posts was 5:5, 5. Q's posted this months ago, a couple times. So Donald Trump then tweeting this morning, 5 for 5, seems to be a confirmation. Although, is this some sort of warning or something to that effect having to do with 5-5? Don't know. But seeing as all of what's going on this morning, all the Q websites being hit hard, and Donald Trump putting this out 5 for 5, it looks like something's going on. It looks like this is some sort of message out there. And speaking of censorship, we were talking about Q censorship. And another word on the Alex Jones censorship. So, of course, YouTube, Spotify, Facebook, all the different platforms have been banning InfoWars accounts except Twitter. So Twitter CEO, Jack, said that InfoWars Alex Jones not banned because he, quote, hasn't violated our rules. Now, let's put all the pieces together here. We have, about a week ago, a bunch of Q articles surface in the mainstream media, huge discrediting attack campaign go on. But what always happens when someone gets censored is that Streisand effect, whereby if you censor somebody or delete their accounts, all the eyes, the limelight then turns on that person. In effect, if you censor somebody, it actually gives them more attention. That's the Streisand effect. So the elites knew a week ago when they came out with their Q attack pieces, they were like, oh man, this is actually turning a lot of eyes onto it, right? Well, then what did they do? A couple days later, they pulled Jones's platforms. So by pulling Alex Jones's platforms, that then turns all the attention on him. Now, Alex Jones doesn't speak about Q. There's some history there. Not going to get into it here. But Alex Jones does not discuss Q. So by the elite doing this, they basically turn all the attention onto somebody not discussing Q. You see? It's like they're using one psyop to help benefit another one of their psyops. You see? It's literally this kind of 4D information mental warfare going on. So now that Alex Jones has all the attention on him, he still has his Twitter. He's got his app that is shooting up the charts. All the attention goes away from Q. Still a few discrediting mainstream pieces going on, and now they're trying to go for the Q websites, you see. So Attention on Alex. Go for the Q websites. Try to sanitize it that way. You see what I'm saying? That's how I see this psychological operation, multiple psyops, play out here, okay? Wanted to throw that out there. Now, before I move on into the last few articles that I want to share in this video, I want to make a shout out to a sponsor of this channel, Noble Gold. There's some awesome, it's a family-based company run out of Texas to help you invest your money into precious metals and also invest your IRA in precious metals too, to definitely help you stay safe with a volatile stock market. Not only that, they just came out with this badass ounce of silver Trump coin. It is a Donald Trump silver piece. These are awesome. They've got them for sale now too. Go check them out. There'll be a link to Noble Gold down below. Now, last few articles I want to share with you guys. The U.S. Senate is calling on Julian Assange to testify. Boom! This is awesome news. And it makes total sense with all, like I said, the stuff hitting the fan this morning. We've got Q posts going down, all kinds of censorship. Now Julian Assange is being called to testify. Totally makes sense that all these attacks would ramp up in intensity. And I'm very curious to see what Julian Assange will have to say. I'd have a lot of questions for him. And we also have a New York congressman who was arrested this morning. So Representative Chris Collins was arrested on securities fraud related charges. He was arrested this morning. And again, hitting the fan, guys. What's funny is that Collins was one of the first members of Congress to endorse Trump during his campaign. That's an interesting little tidbit because it shows you that it doesn't matter who supports Trump or not. If you're lying, if you are fraudulent, if you are corrupt, you're going down. So the swamp is getting drained through and through. Another piece showing that. I saw this yesterday. This piece of news come out. It says Secretary of Defense Mattis is now supportive of basically the new Space Force. So this is really peculiar because in previous months, Jim Mattis was somewhat opposed to this Space Force. But now he does an interesting reversal. He reversed his stance, and now he is supporting it, right? Very peculiar. I'm very interested to see how this will play out and how the creation of the Space Force will begin to be. If you've, of course, been following my work, I continuously say that this Space Force allows us a public avenue to begin the process of disclosing the sciences, technologies, and all the things in the back projects that have been hidden from us for decades now. So that's what I'm hoping, at least, this Space Force will become. And again, I'm very interested to see how it'll play out. And last little thing I want to share with you guys is a piece of health news, kind of reversing course away from politics here, but still very important. This came out yesterday. Why Italy's U-turn on mandatory vaccinations shocks the scientific community. So a few months ago, Italy announced mandatory vaccination legislation, and this did not go over well with many people who, of course, value freedom, value their own health choices. But Italy, again, completely reversed its stance on mandatory vaccination. And this shows you the power of public outcry. You see, you voice your opinion, and our legislatures, our lawmakers will have no choice but to do the will of the people. You see, what helped the elites for so long was public ignorance. You see, they could easily push through whatever statutes and codes they wanted because it goes right over our heads. But with an informed public, with an awake and aware public, that's what they don't want, because then we voice our opinions and we tell them what we want, and we don't let the corruption stand anymore. So this is very, very good news that Italy did this. Now, let's make sure that states like California reverse their mandatory vaccination policy. In fact, let's just put the heat on the whole damn pharmaceutical industry and let everybody know that vaccines are highly toxic. They don't actually do a damn thing for your immune system. In fact, they make you much more sick, much more diseased. It's much more helpful to actually live a healthy life, to learn how to take care of yourself rather than expecting some, quote, authority to do it for you. Okay, so there you go. That's all I have for this video, guys. I just want to throw a quick one together and get it out this morning because we have Lots of stuff going on, like the Q site's down, some interesting things coming out of Trump's Twitter, and Julian Assange being called to testify. I wouldn't doubt if we have more fireworks go on today. By the time the day is over, I'm going to do my best to, again, do another video later on if that happens. But you guys can rest assured that I'll be back in very short time. Again, thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing, for liking, for notifying, for commenting, for sending me all your wonderful support and lovely messages. I'll see you guys again soon. Done.